Hey guys, welcome to the second session of Learn and Get Rich. So today's session is about me explaining you what kind of things are out there you can invest in. I will show you a platform which I'm personally using. I don't want to make any advertisement for it. I'm not really trustful in this platform to be honest, but I will show you the easiest way to invest your money. Now, you have done the first part for sure, you know how much budget you have available to invest. Now we come to the question, where can we invest our stuff? Probably you've heard of things like stocks, crypto, gold, silver, but you don't know what it even is, where you can invest into it, and I will show you some. Well, first I give you an overview of what we have to invest in, then I'll show you where you can buy these things as an example. And in the second step, I'll tell you how I would advise you as someone who doesn't deal with the market on a daily basis to invest your money, the strategy. So I will dive right into it with the first thing the first thing you can invest in is an index. So an index usually reflects either the 30 biggest companies by market capitalization of a country or the 100 most valuable companies of a country. So here are some examples like the S&P 500, which is the 500 biggest in the US. So if you buy shares of the S&P 500, you're automatically investing into all these 500 companies which are included in that index, which means you buy one thing, you have a huge diversification among all the companies. The goal here is that we are assuming that the economy is growing over time, and by you investing into the 500 biggest player of the country you believe in, and if this is the USA or some other countries, you can choose that. You will have basically invested into all of them. How does the index move? So basically, it depends on how much share each of the company has within the index. And let's say 300 companies go up 1% in a day, 200 go down 1% in a day. You will get a 3 to 2 movement upwards, which means you'll make money. So this is really, really the best for beginners. I don't even want to go ahead much further than that. For you, that is what you want to invest in. You will have a big diversification. Now I'm going to show you as well, for the sake of the session, how much money you can make with the different things. So let's just go ahead with the first one. Let me just go to my trading view. So if you would have invested into the S&P 500, let's say 10 years ago, I'm going now to the chart just to show you, then I'm going to show you also some calculators where you can actually calculate that stuff. So I'm going to my stock list or my fiat and main list. So let's go to the S&P 500. Go to the weekly chart. And here you can see what is going on with the S&P 500. So you can see here that it has been going up pretty much since the last 11 years. If you have invested 11 years ago in the S&P 500, it was at 1158. Today it's at 3,665. So you would have tripled your money over the last 10 years, not considering inflation at this point. Now, right now we can see a correction in the market, but that is for now not what I want to say. Important is the market usually goes up, and historically, if you're a long-term investor, you will make money, should make money. Problematic is obviously if you go here on the top, but I will tell you the strategy I recommend you to do. Will basically take all of this into consideration. It is easy, it is straightforward. You will not even have to think about it. So that is how great it is. Now I'm gonna want to give you some examples for all these things I'm gonna show you. So the S&P 500. Let's have a look here. If you would have invested in the S&P 500, let's say September 2012. So in order to find these things, you just go to Google, go to S&P 500, calculate a return on investment calculator. It will give you that amount of money. So let's assume you would have invested $1,000 last year, would have a monthly investment of $100 over the 10 years. Now we will keep it constant, the investment, so always $100, no matter if you make more money or not. Now we calculate that, and you can see here basically the final value of your portfolio, your total invested cost basis in US dollars, your annual return, and then you can even have here the value after capital gains tax. Obviously, you will have to pay taxes if you sell these kind of things. Depending on the country you live in, the capital tax can be from 0% to I don't know, 25% maybe. I think Germany is like 20%, the Czech Republic 15%. That's something you gotta check, but usually it is deducted automatically once you sell your equities and assets. Now that is quite a good return if you would have started, and that is exactly what we want. We want to start, we want to make money on our money, we want to put our money to work. The S&P 500 is, among other indexes, one of the most famous. I give you here some other examples. The Dow Jones is from Germany, 30 biggest companies by market capitalization in Germany. The MDAX, so medium companies, TechDAX, which is only including technological companies. Nikkei 2022-25 is from Japan. You have here the Shenzhen Stock Exchange Composite, which basically includes all companies which are listed on the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. So basically, by investing into any index, you will buy all the companies included. So you can decide what country you like, and you can buy then the index of that country. So if you believe the Japanese economy has a big way up, well, go for the Japanese one. You can invest $50 into S&P, 50 into the TechDAX. You just choose, also based on your preference. Yeah, period. Now the next one I want to show you are ETFs, so-called exchange traded funds. So that means these are funds, which is a amount of companies, again, which are traded on an exchange. What does it mean? It means that basically there are some groups out there, some hedge funds or whatever, they have set up their own exchange traded funds. Usually they include from 10 companies to 500 companies, anything, and can be, they usually put in a certain type of company. So for instance, there can be an exchange traded fund with only small businesses, which is managed by Blackwaters, for instance, just to give an example. Someone like this is like a managed fund, so someone is actually sitting there looking at the companies, thinking about the portfolio and the portfolio and matters of the fund, and decides what to buy, what kind of risk management they want to do. So you can invest in large companies, medium companies, small companies. With smaller companies, you have a higher potential for growth, which means you have a higher potential on the upside in comparison to large companies, but that also gives you a higher risk. So this is something you have to determine by yourself. That is something how you want to trade. You can basically invest into anything with exchange traded funds. So there are funds, I think there are, I don't even know, thousands of them are out there. So you can invest into commodities, you can invest into currencies, special funds. There are funds which include only businesses in the sustainability branch, so only companies who are doing something with sustainability. That can be marketing, that can be logistics, they can be producers of solar panels, whatsoever. You can have a look. So if you find an exchange traded fund, you just go to Google, you can find them. You will usually have to pay some small administrative fee, something around 0.2 to 2% per anno or whatever. Because these exchange traded funds, there's actually someone sitting thinking about the companies that are right in this fund. and you want to pay, like, this person wants money for it, as easy as it gets. And if, for instance, he says like, okay, we're going to exchange one, like we take a company out because they are close to insolvency, but we take another one promising candidate in, that can happen all the time. So you have actually someone who hopefully is educated and takes care of that, and you pay them sometimes a small fee. All of these information are mentioned usually when you buy the fund, or if you Google only the fund, you will find all of that. It's really, really simple. What you need to do is put in a little bit of work. Yeah, period. So these are exchange traded funds. So again, you have a high diversification, but for those of you who want to invest in a specific sector, in a specific industry, you believe in AI, you believe in sustainability, you believe in tech or banking, that, but you don't want to pick like one specific company or stock, what you're searching for is an exchange traded fund. So something for everyone. Next option we have are stocks. I think stocks are quite straightforward, probably the most famous one among. So you like a specific company, um, like Tesla, Amazon, you just buy stocks of that company, you buy your share on that. There are different kind of shares. I'm not going to go into the depth of that right now. If you have some shares, you're usually, depending on the share, you're even eligible to come to show up to the yearly share meeting, like literally. So even if you have, let's say, shares worth $100 at Lufthansa, they will send you an invitation for the yearly shareholder meeting, which is normally in the headquarters. I actually have never been to one, but I get these invitations quite frequently based on the companies I invested in. So yeah, you're actually own a part of that company the moment you buy shares. Now I put you here in, what do you need in order to buy a share? It depends where you are. I'm gonna show you maybe here an example. How can I buy a share? Let's have a look at that. So right now I'm on the platform eToro. What you can see here right now is the virtual account, so don't get too excited about the value you can see here. A virtual portfolio means that like eToro, for instance, they give you a certain amount of money. In this case, I don't know where the number comes from, 57,000 US dollars and a little bit. Um, and you can invest that money. So you can basically make investments, see how your investment would have played out, would it have been actual real money. So you can see that here in the bottom left corner, you can switch to your real account. So you can switch between the two of them. Now, if I want to, let's say, invest into Tesla, what do? I just go here for Tesla. I go on Tesla. It's very easy. I mean, this is a really easy platform, very user friendly, which is why it's among the most famous ones. But they also have the most annoying advertisements and are really aggressive in marketing, which is always for me a red flag. That's another thing though. So eToro, I go here. I can see here overview, so I'll see a little bit of stuff, some news around it. Yeah, whatever. And then you can see here, top right corner, you can either add it to your watch list, you can go to invest. You'll take a certain amount of investment, you can put some leverage in. Never do leverage if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and even if you know what you're doing, don't use leverage. You can set a stop loss. So for instance, you can say, I want to buy the share right now. It's 13.8 units based on the current market price. And a stop loss would basically mean once the price falls below a certain level, so let's say $190, you want to automatically sell the share to avoid any further losses. The same goes into the other direction, which is to take profit. So you can say once the share reaches $250, I want you to sell 20% of my investment. I want you to sell 80% or everything of my investment. So you can really set up everything from the beginning on very easy, like it's amazing to do that, and it's even advised to do that. So let's say I want to invest 5%. You can see here 5% of equity. I'm going to just set the order 200 for $2,860. Buy Tesla at market price. Um, Now what do? I go to my home, I go to my portfolio, and I can see that right here. Total invested $2,860. It's still pending. It takes a little bit until they execute the order. Basically, on this one, I will assume it will be quite fast. Then you can see here what cash you have available. You will also see then over the next days your profit and loss for each position. So really, really easy on this platform. Now this is how I buy a stock. In the sake of it, let's see what we have here. We can type ETF. So you will find here all kind of ETFs. Again, you will find different stuff. So really try to Google the things you're investing in. For instance, here the S&P 500 ETF you can trade. Um, so you can invest into that. Sometimes you can search for specific ETFs. Not every ETF is on every platform available. Some platforms offer more than others. It really depends on where where you have your deposit and where you trade. And then the next one is an index. So I go here to indexes. Do I actually get here something for index? So it shows me the S&P 500. It shows me the Nasdaq. Let's actually see if you can find here. Oh yeah, under Discover on this one. So you can see you can see your stocks, crypto indices. So these are all the indexes: Germany 40, India, Spain, Australia, France, you name it, everything here, really everything. I go to ETFs and I'll find all other stuff here: energy, select sector, blah, blah, blah. There are some fancy names. Again, do a little bit of research, like just you want to invest into the energy sector, just go and Google, say ETF energy sector, and you will find some stuff coming up. Really do some research. For the lazy ones among you, I will show you in the end of the video what you want to invest in order to have a good long-term strategy for you and put your money to work. Now, this also kind of clarifies the question, how do I find things to invest in? So now on the platform of eToro is very easy. As I said, very user-friendly. You don't have many like options here on the left side. Check if eToro is available within your country to be used. If you like it or not, again, do your own research. I'll show you later what you should type. In order to find the right platform, you have to sometimes customize a little bit to your country. So if you're in Switzerland, in Australia, wherever is your residency is important. Where do you spend most of your time? So based on that, you will also have to pay taxes on your capital gains. Hopefully you make capital gains. And therefore you want to kind of adjust a little bit. So you go Switzerland, uh, share buying, best platform, something like that on Google. So check that. Read a bit of your views. It will be worth your time. I'll guarantee you that. Now going back to the investment part. So now we talked about indexes. We talked about exchange traded funds. We talked about stocks. What other things are there to invest in? Of course, one of my favorites, the cryptos. If you believe in crypto or not, that is up to you. I like crypto. I like the TA on it. It's something I learned a lot from. I learned actually everything I know about trading from crypto. I traded stocks for 5 years before I started crypto, and I went into massive, massive mistakes I did all the time. And it was mostly because I was guided by my emotions, by the psychology that happens on the market once your own money is in. So that is something I all learned through crypto. Now, crypto, you can even invest in crypto on eToro. eToro is very versatile. Another few platforms for crypto by now exist. One example is Binance. Another is KuCoin, Kraken. Excuse me, there are a lot of options for that. Now you want to invest in Bitcoin, for instance. I think to have Bitcoin within your portfolio is not the worst idea. It seems to have a legit place in this world, but again, if you don't want to invest in crypto, that's fine. You want to be more conservative. I know some guys, they make good amounts of money over the years, really. They don't want to touch crypto. They think it's going to zero, and it can go to zero. It will probably not happen to any of the indexes. So that is something you have to choose for yourself. But if you want to trade crypto, again, I'm here on eToro. I go on crypto And I'll see all the coins pretty much straight away with the big ones here, Bitcoin, ADA. I mean, there are so many, I don't even want to go into it. The biggest ones at the moment, Bitcoin, ETH, BNB. These are like three decent investments. I consider this decent investments, the most famous also among crypto at the moment. Going back, I'll give you here some examples. So there's crypto. You can invest in crypto again. Like you have to go either to a specific platform, like Binance, register yourself, uh, or maybe eToro offers crypto as well. You will have to check based on what you want to trade, where you register your account for trading. Then you can invest also into commodities like gold, silver, oil. You can invest in sugar and gas and coffee, wheat. If you want to invest into commodities, again, I'll go back to eToro. In that case, I go to commodities. And you can see it all here with the respective prices, gold, cocoa, soya beans. I mean, you can literally invest into anything. You just buy it here, the prices reflect what the really market is, and that's it. So that's really how easy it is. Literally. The only thing you got to do is set up an account. Usually you got to do some KYC. KYC is know your customer. Most platforms by today, based on financial regulations, you will have to send there your ID. They really want to know that the person actually trading is you. That is probably thanks to, well, I guess some illegal shit going on. Let's imagine you're Pablo Escobar. You've made billions and billions. And how do you basically launder that money? Well, you can go to any platform, buy gold, and then pay it out, and that's how you launder. So basically, they want to know who you are. I can guarantee you that they are also monitoring everything in the background. That means if you tell them you're a student and you will put 20,000 US dollars to your account every month, they will be like, where is the money coming from? Gotta prove that, so be careful about this. And I mean, not be careful, but be careful if to make sure that what you're trading is reasonable on your account. So this is not the place by today where you want to or even can launder your money. Platforms even have the possibility to freeze some of your assets if there is reasonable if they have reasonable doubts about where the money is coming from and that it's potentially illegal. That should not scare you off. It's normal. It has to be like this. This is how financial regulations work today. Your bank can do the absolute same. So if you believe in decentralization, well, crypto is where you want to go. But again, it comes with a lot of risks or different risks. Now that is commodities, so you can invest in silver and gold. And what's the last one I want to show you? Currencies. If you want to, you can invest in currencies. The same is possible on eToro as well, where you buy, let's say, for euros, you buy US dollars, vice versa, whatever you want to do. I mean, usually currencies don't fluctuate that much. But holy shit, in the last year, like let's say a year ago, you got for one euro, you got one US, like 114 US dollars. Today you get less than a dollar. So if you would have actually bought a year ago the dollar, let's say you invested 10,000 euros into dollars, you got $11,000, $11,400. Now, if you would go today and put that money back into euros, you would have 11,000, probably $800. So basically, you would have made $2,000 just by switching currencies. Now, that is due to the macroeconomic situation we're facing right now. So yeah, that's another thing you can invest in, but I wouldn't recommend that for you. Now, last topic, what would I recommend you to do in order to invest? It's called the dollar cost average strategy. I'm gonna make a different video about it because I want to show you how it works there, what you can do, and what I would recommend you to, like, how to drive this strategy for the guys who love risk and don't like risk so much. So I will distinguish between that. If you have any questions, guys, just reach out to me. If you want to have my opinion on a certain strategy, a certain stock, I'm happy to really have a look at it. I hope the video helps you to understand a little bit what is out there. I only took now eToro as an example where you can trade in. The other platforms to trade are usually very similar. Some are easier than others. Again, this is a very easy interface, which is for is very beginner friendly. Everything here is going in dollars actually. You just basically make a watch list, you have your portfolio, and that's it. So nothing fancy here. Yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll show you the strategy of investing in the next video. And maybe I'll make one more video about how where I set up an account actually on some platform and show you how that works if that is something of interest for you. Enjoy, guys. Have a great weekend and love you all, of course.